Hey everyone, this is the Pride Investigator Advice Podcast. This is episode 42 on Tech Tuesday.
This is the PI Advice Podcast.
Yeah, boy.
What's going on, everybody? This is Andrew with the Pride Investigator Advice Podcast. We are rocking Tech News Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing okay. I meant to record this like a day before so I could have it out in the morning, but it just didn't work out that way. I was exhausted from exercise, believe it or not. Anyways, so I've got a different topic today. We're not just going to cover the news today, although there have been some things that have come out today. We're going to talk about WordPress websites. So if you don't have a WordPress website and you're not interested in this stuff, then stay tuned next week or even maybe later this week. We're going to have some Pride Investigator news updates and things like that. But if you are interested in some of the things that go into a WordPress website, which is what my website is built on, and Investigator Marketing builds a lot of their platforms of websites on that. You're going to want to hear this because there's some cool stuff that you can add as plugins to your website to not only make them rank better, but to add some more functionality to them for your customers and even for you. It kind of depends on what you're trying to do. And so when I first started with originally it was my Investigator website, and that changed from one facilitator to the WordPress format, and like I said, it took me a long time to figure a lot of things out, which I probably should have just paid somebody at the time. But I was entering it into my own thing very slowly, so it kind of worked out for me. But and also with the Pride Investigator Advice website at prideinvestigatoradvicehq.com, I was able to. When you're always entering stuff and you're always adding stuff to your website. And you're interested in that kind of stuff, then you pick up a couple things here and there. A lot of this stuff, obviously, if you've contemplated getting a website built by investigatormarketing.com, they're going to be able to help you with a lot of this stuff too and explain things to you. But while we're in that, just so you know, let's see here. Today's the 25th, so essentially there's 3 more days left on the Pride Investigator Marketing deal of the month. That's get your 10% off for a 5-page website, which is a pretty good deal. Definitely check them out. I always say give everyone a call. At least, if you're interested in it, give them a call. They have that financing now. Goodness gracious, I can't remember what it is. I know it's I believe it's a PayPal thing here. Let's see here. Investigator Marketing. I go to their website at investigatormarketing.com. And let's see here. I think it was, yes, it is. It is get 6 months interest-free financing, and I believe that's through a PayPal, if I remember correctly. Anyways, so yeah, give them a call. You don't have to cough up all the money at once. Finance it. It'll pay for itself. Literally, if it's your own business and you get a case from your business, it'll pay for itself like in a day or two. Depending on what you charge, which I'm assuming you're going to charge a fair amount. But anyways, let's carry on. So one of the things I noticed is that more Pride Investigators are getting involved in the podcasting thing. Actually, now I can't remember what exactly this new one's called, but there's a new group of Pride Investigators in Florida and around some bigger wigs. They've been around for a while. They're putting together a podcast and video thing. So you're definitely, once I learn a little bit more about them, I'll share it with you guys if you guys haven't found it already. But people are getting more and more involved. Like I know one, and I can't think of the name of the company at the moment, but he had just a kind of like a recording for his customers, and it was like, hey, basically this is what we do, and we specialize in this, and so the future customer or the potential customer could click on that, and they could hear this message from the investigator or the business. Even sometimes it can be like just a welcome message. But one of the things that what I do for the Pride Investigator Advice podcast is I use a plugin called PowerPress. And what PowerPress allows me to do is to put an audio like put the audio from this podcast on the website very easily. And now I do host my my podcasts through somewhere else. And now I'm drawing a blank on that now. Anyways, I hosted somewhere else, and basically this plugin grabs my podcast and puts it on my website for me. And all I have to do is basically paste the URL for that and put it in the website. It's very easy. And so, maybe if you're selling services, maybe you wanted to put, maybe you want your own podcast for your company, or maybe you just want to put some audio versions of that. That might be one way to do it, is using PowerPress. There are some other ways to do it. I'm not quite sure that because I don't use it frequently, but this is what I use for the podcast, and it works well for me, and I don't have any problems with it. So that's that. Another one, I got these all mixed up here. Another one, which I should have probably started with, is AllinOne SEO. This, with the marketing gurus that I internet marketing gurus that I listen to and trust, by the way, he mentioned this when I first found him many years ago. It's called AllinOne SEO, and this basically allows, well, it does a couple things, and it's changed over the years. But originally, I used it just for for my posting. So whether it be my pages or my blog, which is kind of just basically the same thing, just ordered differently. I could change the title of that to be more conducive to search engines, or what people are looking for. So, for instance, I could like most of my podcasts, the titles of my podcasts are like number 59 : how to be a better product investigator. That would be the title of my blog or whatever. And what I could do with AllinOne SEO is get rid of the numbers, just have the title, or even tweak the title a little bit. And when you looked at it in the search engines, that's what you would find. You'd find this different title. But when you clicked on the link and you went through, I could have a different title on my webpage. So it made it more conducive of it. Also, they also send they contact Google every time you post something new on your website. They contact Google. It's called an XML sitemap or something to that effect, and it lets Google know, hey, my website has something new on it. You need to check it out and index it. Meaning, index it and then make that available to search engines. You could find that information. So, like for your blog, you post something new on your blog for your website, for your Prime Investigator website, it'll automatically contact Google, say, hey, Joe Blow website has something new. You need to check it out. And then that way, that blog post has a potential of, depending on how well written it is and how, optimized it is for whatever you're writing about, will make it up to search engines and be found, the rankings to be found from people that's looking for that information. So that's AllinOne SEO. Another one that I found, and I actually think I found it originally on another Private Investigator's website, and I can't give the gentleman credit for it, but because I don't remember. It's been so long ago. But once I saw him have it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that. It's called Zopim, Zopim. Now, Zopim gives you a little chat on your chat option on your website. So let's say you're you're just kicking it at home and or in the office, and maybe you're writing reports, and you've got your chat function open in Zopim. That's probably not the best way to describe it. There's a chat function for anybody that visits your website. Let's put it that way. And it says, hey, chat with us. If you're online, it'll say chat with us. So somebody who visits your website can go, oh, okay, let me click on that. And then I can type in some like instant messaging like AOL used to have, or any other instant messaging you're familiar with. It's just basically a direct line from them to you, and they can ask you a question. Maybe they don't want to call you. Maybe they feel more comfortable behind the chat function, and maybe that turns into a phone call, and then maybe that turns into a case. You don't know. But I type, oh, hey, I'm interested in your services, and then I'll get an alert on the dashboard of Zopim, and it'll say so-and-so wrote this, and then you could chat back with them, and it's very fluid. I was practicing with it just before I started the podcast. And so let's say, well, what if you're offline? Does that chat function work? Well, yeah, it does. If you're offline, it will, I'm trying to log out here. It will send you a message. Give them an option to give you a message and say, let's see here. I want to end my chat here. I'm going to actually do this and look at it again here. So yeah, it's not showing it. Basically, to let you allow the person to leave a message for you, and then you could get back to them with their question. And so I know it gives, the reason I like it is because well, first of all, it's free. I always like that. In fact, everything that I discussed today is free. Another reason, it just kind of gives you an extra layer of professionalism, or maybe helps out a little bit with that and makes it like, oh, this guy's fancy. This is a fancy website. Let me check this out. And then obviously, not everybody likes to discuss things. Sometimes people will contact you in your contact page if they have questions. This just gives another layer of of an option. To be honest, only a handful of people have used this during the time I've had it, but I don't sit on my website. To be honest with you, I just don't sit on it. So, maybe that's why no one's chatting me up. So that's Zopim. That's Zopim. And if you have a website and you want to know how to get there to say, well, where's this? It's at Zopim.com, Zopim.com, and you could try it there. Also, just, go to your dashboard on your WordPress website and search for it, and you can find it there as well. And if you are interested in what it looks like on the thing, in real life, just go to my website, click on it, and you can chat me up if I'm on there, or leave me a message. Say, hey, thanks for sharing. Okay. Another one, which you've probably seen on my Product Investigator advice website, is the SpeakPipe. Now, SpeakPipe's been free for a very long time, and unless you get like a ton of messages, which in most cases you're not going to get a ton of messages on your website. But if you do, they have plans for more messages and more people leaving messages for you. But what this is basically for the user, again, who doesn't want to talk to you. They just want to ask you a question, and it'll send it in the form of a voicemail. So they'll have to talk through their computer and leave the voicemail. And so let's see here. I'm going to go to my website again here. And so it'll be, for me, it's on the sidebar. I can't remember if it had an option as to whether you can put it somewhere else, but needless to say, it's a good thing. I mean, people do leave me voicemails on here from time to time. In fact, I think I just posted one recently of somebody asking a question, which was fun. But just, it's just another layer. It's maybe something fun for you to do. You don't have to do it. But and I don't know that's going to benefit your business anymore, but like, again, it might add some sophistication to your website that you might want, or you might need. I don't know. And then when they send you a voicemail, after they're done, they can record whatever they want here. And then, let's see here. Yeah, they stop recording, and then they can leave their name and then their email towards you. So they've left you a voicemail, they've left their contact information, and then they can leave your email. Now, I'll have pictures posted up, hopefully in this video, and again in the blog post to kind of give you an idea what you'd be looking at. Of course, you can always just check it out yourself. So, yeah. So then, and then by the way, yeah. So then you'll actually get a voicemail or an email saying, "Hey, someone's left you a voicemail." Once someone's done this, and you could click on the link in your own email, and it'll take you to the recording. And it's pretty easy. It's not a big deal to set up. It's just everything that I'm talking about today is a plugin. It's just and it's just like a little attachment to your website that provides different functionalities. Now, there's millions and millions of plugins out there, and these are just ones that I found good for business. There's other ones out there that are good for other things, but I'm not even going to bother sharing them. See here. WordPress SEO by Yoast. I think the gentleman that created it, last name is Yoast, Yoast. He is another guy that put together a search engine optimization plugin. And this one's a little more sophisticated in the sense that it does the same thing as AllinOne SEO does. You write something in your blog, you post it, or your website, and it sends something to hey, I wrote something, check me out. Okay, so that, but which is important. But this plugin also makes sure what you're writing is optimized. So like, let's say you were writing about background checks. So what it'll do is check for background checks in the title. It'll check for background check, like the word background checks in the body of it, what you've written, how many times. It'll check. It'll do a word count and say, okay, well, in order for this to have any impact, you need to have over a certain word account, and it'll tell you like how strong your post is. And again, you can change the title, and then you could add a specific summary or bit. When you're checking out websites, they leave a little summary in there to kind of see what you're going to be reading. It does that as well. I like it because it kind of keeps me accountable, and it'll also tell you if you've written about things with the same. Like if you've written about background checks in the past, it'll say, hey, you've written about this before. You might not want to make this your overall theme of the concept of this blog post. So, it helps you out in that way. I've used both. So I use All-in-One SEO and I use this. I like both. I don't use it both. You can only use one for your website. You're going to be fine either way with one, in my opinion, either one, in my opinion. But I have other websites out there that I use. Now I'm using WordPress SEO by Yoast just exclusively. But with that being said, my PI advice website has the All-in-One SEO plugin, and it's done very well for me over the years, or a couple of years here. So that's that one. And check that out if you have a WordPress website. It's very interesting. One of the other ones that I really liked is the Facebook like box. Now, I don't know what everybody's using for their. I think it's important to have it. It's something I prefer. Not all websites post their Facebook link to their Facebook page for their business. But when you do, because some people are like, oh, I only got 20 people liking my Facebook page. Why would I want to, this is all that likes me? I don't want to share that. So when you do your website on WordPress, which by the way, I highly recommend because it's so easy from what I understand, it's easy for Google to index it. It's easier for them to understand what your website's about. It's just easier for them. I don't know really of any other platforms that make it basically easy for anybody just to go in there and make a website or maintain a website. It's not easy. Unless you know what you're doing already, it's not easy. So anyways, Facebook Likebox from Jetpack, excuse me. Jetpack usually comes with a WordPress setup. So it gives you a bunch of items you could put in, plugins, probably like 20 different plugins, but not all of them you want to put in your website. I only use like one or two. So I'll give you an example of how applicable they are to your website. So the Jetpack with the Facebook thing, so it gives you options, and it's really pretty, by the way. So it'll be on your sidebar potentially here as a plugin, and it gives you options to just have a like box. So you're not telling anybody how many people like your website, and then it gives you an option to I think actually say how many people like your website, and then it gives you another option to put faces. So faces of the little itty bitty squares, so it could be like maybe 10 or 12, and I'll post a picture up here of an example, but it'll kind of give you an idea of, I don't know, I think that's more influential when you have a lot of people's faces on your Facebook thing. It's like, hey, look at all the people that like me. Now you need to like me. And maybe it provides some social influence. We've talked about that before. So that's something to think about. You want to have a nice Facebook looking side thing on there. Now there's plenty of other, plugins that are cool for these websites. If you have a website built by investigatormarketing.com, ask them, say, what are you putting in are you using plugins or can I have this? I would really like to have this Facebook page. Could you add that to my website? Or, hey, I want to do like a little monthly, podcast. Could you make sure you just have the PowerPress, or what do you recommend? Do you recommend something better? Why? Was Andrew's recommendation not good enough? You can say that. You can ask him. So yeah, that's that. I think so we went through PowerPress, we went through Yoast, we went through Facebook Likebox from Jetpack, excuse me, because I said it wrong again. All-in-One SEO, Zopim, and SpeakPipe. These are all fun to use, and again, I'm going to have pictures posted in the blog and hopefully on this video here that you'll be watching. If you do cheat and do, oh wow, I can't speak today. If you choose to watch the video on the podcast, but yeah, if this is something you guys like, let me know. I'll put together another one in the future or in the near future. If not, I'm probably still going to talk about it because maybe somebody wants to hear about it. So either way, you can let me know. Yeah, we're going to be getting to some other good stuff here in the near future. I'm getting some more contact messages from listeners and readers, which there's specific things I want to address and I want to kind of reiterate, and I just want to pound into the ground till it's like everybody knows, like, oh, yeah, if you ask that question, Andrew's going to send you here. He's going to send you to this link and let you read this. But again, thank you guys for listening to Tech Tuesdays plug-in day. We're going to get into some other tech stuff soon. And hey, listen, I thank you guys for watching. I thank you guys for listening. If there's something you want to hear in particular, want me to try to explain, and if I know it, I'll share it. If I don't know it, I'll do my best. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get us out of here on some techno music. I don't know if that's really techno music, but it's my version. And so, again, contact Investigator Marketing. You know, I know people are giving them a call, and I appreciate you guys using his service. I know he's a stand-up guy, and I would not be recommending him to you if I didn't think so. Again, he's a sponsor of the show, and I just appreciate his support of the show. So, all right, guys. Hey, this week we should have another news episode where I comment on things happening in the private investigator world. And I hope to have another just a regular Joe Blow podcast on some things that you guys need to hear about. So, all right, take it easy. Take care. Make some money. I know this is a slow time. Bye-bye.